Peace, family. It's Chivatal, and I'm back with another tool for your toolkits. How are you? Welcome back, my darlings. Let's get this thing popping. It's Monday. You know, the work does not discontinue, it continues. Here we are, becoming our best selves, and I am excited to share a little personal story with you all. All right. Welcome. What's up, Cheryl? What's up, Margina? Peace, Faith. How are you? So I'm just going to sit back and we're going to get into something. Today, we were going to get into the spleen, but I realized that we are still very much in the winter. And I want you to be able to work in the power of the winter with the proper organ so that you can, like I described to begin with, access your power. Why is this all related, including how this guide begins the chosen life? It's because here we are at the essence of our being. All right? So, get your notebooks out. Let me know you're ready. Thumbs up this video. I'm about to get started. If you already have your chosen life, you should have read at least the first chapter. It's very short, but it's very concentrated. Okay? It's concentrated and straight to the point. If you've already received yours and you managed to get through it the first round, then you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? So here's a little story. I know most of you see myself here. And for whatever reason we're connected, I always say there's a reason. You wouldn't be here if it were not for you seeing some aspect of yourself in the work that's being shared with you. And I would not be sharing this journey with you if there were no connections in how you and I would have already touched some of the similar path or will in the future. All right? Let me know if this makes some sense. Because you could be anywhere else, but you're right here with me. And so I want to let you know that I deeply appreciate it because this is just the beginning. All right? What's up, Angle May? Shouts out to HOC. Shouts out to the Cult College. Shouts out to Dark Lordism. Gang. All right? So let Mother Chi just put her essence on the things here. Okay? The chosen life. What does that have to do with the kidney chi that we're going to talk about today? Okay? What does the chosen life have to do with the kidney chi? The kidney chi, the jing. All right? We're talking about the water element, the essence, the vitality of life, the sexual lubricants that make it possible for you to make babies and for you to produce. Okay? Our bodies, family, are made up of at least 78-80% water. So let's talk about water because it's so vital to your life. The spirit of the kidney is yi, willpower. Write that down. The spirit of the kidney is yi, yi. Okay? Willpower. I mentioned along the way how important winter would be to you all. And while winter is not gone, let's not lose any of this deep inner work. Because the emotion behind the kidney or the water element when it's out of balance is fear. It's fear. Why do we feel fearful when it's kidney time? when we're in the water element? Why? Why do we experience fear? In any situation, why are we experiencing fear? In life, it happens because we talked about some other things, judgment, right? And I always say, let's go a little deeper. It happens because we're like this. I don't know what's going to happen. All these things are going on, but I'm not really sure where I'm going. Who am I? All right? The whole who am I? It's in the gene. It's the essence of who you are. Okay? So, sure, I could bring you whatever information, however I receive it. But the way you receive it and the way you know it's me giving it to you is because you are feeling my chi. No pun intended, but seriously, who are you really? So while I'm on a divine mission from the heavens, I'm also here on this planet Earth, and I have my own definition of how I'm going to bring to you my divine mission. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense to you. Okay? While I have my divine calling, we have the heavens. I still have to bring it here for you to feel, to touch, to engage with on Earth. This is the heaven and earth connection. Okay? And if I don't let you know that it's a real thing, right? If you check the picture that I chose for this particular video, there's this beautiful God out in the heavens, and everyone is like, I'm reaching towards the heavens. What is my calling? You're going to feel your calling, right? You're going to feel that calling in the heart. Remember the Shin? You're going to feel that calling in the heart. But you ever find yourself confused between what you're being called to do versus how you really want to express it? Now, I'll just share a little bit, right? Clearly, I'm going through a process, a spiritual process. If you're blind, then you can't see, right? But you're not. And so understand that there's going to be in your own lives a process of initiation where life is calling you forward, and there's this space in between how you're going to show up. How are you going to translate what that calling is through your own existence, through your own self? 5 people can be chosen to be some type of shaman, some type of healer in their lives. One may show up like when you type in Google, shaman, and they look like they're in robes or they have all these feathers. Some will show up in a hoodie and jeans. Some will show up as a man. Some will show up as a woman. Some will show up as very clean cut, suit on, and very proper. Some might show up very clean cut in a suit and very vulgar with their mouths. But whoever comes to them is by virtue of their essence. But what their divine calling is, the outcome is they're some type of shaman, some type of healer. So you can put any title on whatever your divine calling is. It does not have to always be spiritual. It can be you were called to be a magnificent lawyer. Okay? You work on behalf of the people and work in the law. But how you show up to do that has to do with your gene, your essence, who you really are. And this is why we're working on becoming golden. You have the discipline of your mantras, because if you're doing them, you're going to be able to tap into certain wisdom. However, you need to not only have the discipline of your mantras, but the discipline of these healing sounds, because without clearing the meridians of your body with the vibrations of these healing sounds specific to the meridians, and then as we move forward, some of the body movements, your body, your light body will not be able to contain or translate or transmit the information necessary that will also give you the power to not negotiate, but to co-create how your divine mission will be translated into this life on this earth. Let me know if that's making sense. Put some ones in the chat. And if you really, really feeling what I'm talking about, put some flames in the chat, because I think I'm on fire. I'm okay to say that. You got to feel yourself. You got to feel yourself and be yourself. Okay? There's one thing that is across the board between HOC and Dark Lordism, the whole occult college family. You understand that we're not here to just spoon feed you everything. We want to give you exactly what you need and see what you're made of by the work that you put in so you can empower yourselves. Okay? Because there's no jumping in the boat. Because when I go where I need to go, I can't take anyone with me. Same goes for your lives. Once you identify where you're going and where your power is, you don't take anyone with you. Whoever's going to go with you will roll with you. And hopefully they're rolling on their own wheels and not in your wagon. You get what I'm saying? Shouts out to the Jiggays. Those are some empowered individuals. They have been doing this work. They've been consistent and they are making moves. So let's talk about this, right? The first chapter talks about identifying where you're going. What is going to be your practice? Some of you have an issue with doing one thing and one thing only, right? But if you don't even know exactly what you're going to do, what is your relationship to this whole thing? You're in a classroom, you're watching these videos, you're doing homework. But what is your relationship to this and what is your personal practice? All right? Because in here, there's plenty of room for growth. But what you really are picking up underneath it all is a system, a practice of consistency, a practice of doing something to see for yourselves and then making a decision. All right? Some of you all have been doing this work long enough that you've already seen how your lives transform. You once lived where you had to live, so now you live where you want to live. You once had the job you had to go to now working the job or the work that you choose to do, right? You once made the salary that you thought you could that's what you were worth, to making a salary that is beyond what someone told you could have, whether it's your educational background or your experience. You have redefined the standards of your lifestyle through consistency in your practice. Kidney, water element, is a yin organ. It has lots of power behind who you are, and yet it's a deep inward organ. It's from within. All right? The sound, there's two variations. We're going to go with fu. Fu. Okay? Kidneys. They're right below the rib cage by the lumbar spine. Lumbar spine is your lower back. All right? Pretty much if you reach behind you, you feel the base of your palm up against your ribs, right in that area. And if you apply a little, just very little pressure, you're going to feel that it's a little tender. Kidneys. Okay? The sound is going to be repeated 36 times. You got that? 36 times. The kidneys are the mother of the liver and the son of the lungs. How can it be the mother and the son? Listen, don't what is it? Don't take these terms so literally. All right? But do understand that when you have all of these healing sounds for this particular system, you will have a chart that goes in a circle. You're going to have a clock, and you're going to see how the different elements work with each other. You want to be alchemists of your lives, of your wellness, of your wealth. You need all the elements, and you're going to need them to be charged up. You're going to need ways to bring in the energy to transmute. You cannot make anything with nothing. All right? You're going to have the power to transmute energy into something else. Okay? And through these practices, you are learning to draw it in. Okay? Imagine like these sounds are like little vibrating toothbrushes that are going along meridians. And so more so, as you're doing these sounds, I want you to start telling me where the sound travels so that I can see if you're touching that meridian for real, and keep track in your mantra journals, all right, of how the feeling changes. Because from the first time that you've done the sounds, it's like if I run one of those, a pipe cleaner through a rusty pipe at first, I'm going to get through there. But the outermost portions are not going to feel the pipe cleaner going through there. But if I keep on going through there, turn it, eventually now the outside is going to really feel it. And whatever energy or like water flowing through, that thing is going to start really moving. And that's when you'll be clear as to what meridian you're hitting. That makes sense? So, as you're working on this kidney meridian, you should become more clear of the mind. Okay? Mudras are given out in occult college. Shh. Okay? If you're a paid member and you hit me up for a mudra, I'll share that. But don't share that with anybody else. Because I give specific ones for whatever is going on with you. Okay? Also, the kidney gene, the chi of the kidney, is responsible for the growth and development of the bones and the marrow. The marrow, you ever bite a chicken bone and you see that dark red stuff on the inside? Marrow, all right? That is responsible for the white blood cells and the red blood cells. That's where the stem cells are. You see what I'm saying? Like the bones. So your ability to pass on something genetically comes from the power of your gene. So imagine the power of your gene not only comes from your ancestors, but now how do you represent your line in the way you want to do it? Because if they got it right and it was perfect, what are you here for? So every time you duplicate yourselves, the next person ahead of you is responsible for whatever things you didn't actually get correct. So for those of you who haven't even started having children yet, bear that in mind, that all the work that you're doing is so that the next generation is even more, I'm going to say it, more better than you. For all my grammar police. Yeah, I know, but it always sounds better. I don't care. You feel me? So, we've got the bones and the marrow. Ooh, I'm getting hot. So, we're talking about the water element. Are you in flow? When do you feel like you're in flow? You're going to feel like you're in flow when you have a dynamic harmony between who you naturally are, your essence, and your divine calling. Sometimes they're not always in alignment. Like that's the work to be done. When you find that happy place in between heaven and earth, life just is flowing with ease. Because you feel good, you're not faking, you're not being somebody else, right? And you're doing what you were put here to do. It's easier. It's easier to be you. Nobody else can do you as good as you. You understand? Let me know if that makes some sense. Because then from that place, you definitely have clarity. But have no fear. Stagnation in your water. Okay? When you don't really know, what am I supposed to do? Because sometimes the heavens will interject in what you're doing and remind you, hey, this is not what you're going to be doing right now. Something that could have been working for the whole time, but you start doing certain work and upgrading, and it's like, all right, now you're ready for this. And it changes. Some of you practice tarot. That tower card, right? It's like, bam, done. This is changing. Like, change is just part of life. And if you're not willing to change, then you might as well just lay down. But we don't want to do that. Why? Life is fun. Life is full of events and experiences, good, bad, and different. Life is happening. Don't forget to thumbs up this video. It's 21 of y'all getting this wisdom, and I want you all to let me know that you're enjoying it. That's the only way I know. It's the only way I know. All right? So one of the ways that an imbalance in the water can show up is some dark circles around the eyes. Okay? The colors associated with the water element are a deep blue or black. Okay? So by now you're catching the rhythm where if there's a tendency to move towards certain colors, okay, you may see like there's some kind of imbalance in the water. If there is an over, like a craving for salt, salt can just be very damaging to the blood, period. Okay, there's natural salts in all of our foods, but we tend to over salt our taste buds, so we can't really taste it until we flush out and detox over time. Then we're able to taste the beautiful nuances in our foods and don't require a bunch of salt, because the salt is just an enhancer of taste, really. Okay, does that make sense? Because some of you have done thorough detoxes and you realize like food with too many seasonings after you're finished can actually be overpowering. You're like, whoa, like I actually am enjoying simple cabbage steamed with carrots and beans and spinach, and it's just, it has its own flavor and I'm good with that. All right. So another thing that happens when you find yourself in a rut, right? You're getting like a block in your thoughts. You continue, like I'm having a stream of thought and then it just gets cut. That can be a sign to look towards the water element. Okay. When you are feeling like you're drowning, I'm drowning, I'm overwhelmed, I'm like barely keeping my head above water. See that? See how I did that there? That is pointing towards the kidneys, because when we're in that state of feeling like we're barely keeping our head above water, sometimes we can shut down and just say, I want to sleep. I feel lethargic. I don't have the vitality to push forward. I don't have the energy to push through. I don't have the willpower right now. I'm unclear. I don't know what's happening. This is too much. Okay? Also, just the wishy-washy. Like, yes, this is what I'm going to do. Then no. Yes, this is what I'm going to do. Then no. So you see this movement here? Then no. Imagine the water comes in, the water goes out. Water comes in, water goes out. Water comes in, water comes out. Okay? So you want to see if you have flow or you got this stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. All right? The stop and go, like when your brakes need more fluid, you go to pressure brakes and it's like, as opposed to a nice smooth stop. Okay. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it with the kidney. I gave you all a lot of information. The last thing I want to give you are, one, its official name and the time of day so that you can add this, because at the end I'm going to ask y'all to gather your notes and create your circles of these sounds, times, and properties so that you can have it as a reference forever and ever, because it ain't going to change. It didn't happen for centuries. It ain't going to change, y'all. It's not going to change. So the time of the kidneys is 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Once again, you are going to look at your clocks and learn, like even when you're posting, look at the time that you're posting in a group. If you already have the time in your notes, you can say it's kidney time and this is what I'm feeling. And blah, blah, blah. This is what I experienced with my work. We're going with the sound foo, foo, foo. Okay? The other sound that you can use is chue, chue. But I figured it would be easier for you all to just go with foo. That makes sense? All right. Any questions, family? Any questions? If you don't have any questions, my darlings, then Fairy Love Mother is going to go now. So in the link, if you haven't already gotten this guide, which is super dope, straight to the point, you can purchase it here. Wait a second. Easier to find. And I put the sound faith right there in the chat. It's full. And let's stay in alignment. I would love to see some selfies. It's good for you to take a photo of yourself before you began this work. And after a good week of doing the work, or especially when you start getting some feedback from other people, you can document it for yourself. And then you can create like a nice little collage of where you've come and how this work is showing up. So much love and bliss to you all. Peace. I'm out of here.